Hope all is well. Do want to do a little wrestling video for you on a rumor. Well, not really so much a rumor. It's been actually said, and it's been said on a Jim Cornette Experience, a podcast. And the subject was Lucha Underground. And I quote there, he had a rant, Mr. Jim Cornette. Jim Cornette apparently is not that impressed. He said, Lucha Underground horseshit. It's the most heinous horseshit that he's ever seen in his life. We joked off the air and I said, well, I probably like the match, but I won't like the concept of the show because it has writers. End quote. Horseshit is Lucha Underground. Listen, just want to give you my thoughts. You got to remember that corny is old school. I think, and this is just my opinion, I haven't been in the business, but a wrestling fan from way back when. I think his view of wrestling doesn't work for today's audience. I think he refuses to embrace this quote-unquote smart fans aspect of it. That is what's great, I guess, in a sense, about Jim. He never changes his views about things when it comes to wrestling. Or people, for that matter. Of course, he's going to piss a few people off there. Don't forget, he was the best at that way back when. So maybe he's just working the audience. Right? The first thing anyone will tell you if you admit to them that you're a pro wrestling fan is they'll say, it's fake, right? So what is the big deal about embracing the scripted aspect of pro wrestling? People always say, in defense of pro wrestling anyway, so is this TV show and that movie? It's no secret anymore. Normal people will never look at pro wrestling as a legitimate sport again. So adding in, I think, the incredible production and wonderful cinematography probably helps the cause, because a fake pro wrestling show isn't trying to convince people that they are the real deal. I guess from the sense he kind of likes the production but just can't follow the way it's coming from a guy who used to help run WCW, TNA, OVW. You gotta admit, Cornette, it has some amazing, he had some amazing talents in his past. The show, Lucha, has some amazing talents on their roster, despite, even having a couple of old veterans there from, WWE and WCW, TNA, old talents. And you also got a woman there who also competes against the men. She may get her ass whipped, but she's putting pride into her craft. I think Lucha Underground, if anything, maybe makes wrestling more believable. Again, the cinematography, it's perfect, and that it proves, I think, one's experience. No one's stupid enough to think it isn't predetermined at this point. But if you watch Lucha, I think it's clear how these stars, put their bodies on the line. Vampiro versus Pentagon Jr. was one of the most brutal things ever seen, as well as Mill versus Phoenix. Anyone who does think it's predetermined would only love this more. Anyone with half a brain can, I think, tell the difference between, being fake and real. I respect Jim Cornette, but I think Lucha Underground maybe blurs the lines perfectly. And I think at this point it must, at least in my opinion, based on what wrestling is, I think it has the most exciting, unpredictable show around. just some of my thoughts. Hope all is well. And look forward to speaking very, very soon.